All right. This week on Chapters Over Coffee, we're in for a wild ride. A lot of twists and turns in these 5 chapters. But before we get into it, I did a little research on why people DNF the book. So let's talk about it a little bit. The first one was that I had seen was someone said they didn't like Saris. She was so stupid and kept digging herself in holes. Somebody else said that they felt the book was off and that there was a lot going on without explanation. So, like, they didn't like the fact, like, it would talk. One of them was about the gauntlet. Somebody has brought up about the gauntlet in this because she wanted to do all these things with the gauntlet, and then she hands it over to her immature brother, and he just pulls it out trying to trade it to somebody else and gets caught.
Yeah.
Like,
See, and like
they didn't like
that right
that.
there was just the fact that she traded that and stuff, and yeah, I get that.
They
Okay.
also, I didn't put that one in my list, but a couple people didn't like the fact that a lot of people were stated that they thought Hayden was like a 6-year-old kid, not some 21-year-old childish adult. So, like, a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't like Hayden. There were some that didn't, they felt Saris had a teenager behavior, and she's supposed to be this 24-year-old adult. But she also didn't have a normal childhood life. She grew up earlier
She
than she
matured
was supposed
very,
to.
very fast. Yes. She didn't have those teenage years. She spent that time taking care of her brother, and then, they were constantly hiding and stuff. So, yeah.
Again, another one was many people didn't like Saris. They don't like her character. Some people didn't like the editing. They stated that there was way too many mistakes, too many words being pushed, bigger words being pushed and not simplifying it more. And this last one that I put in here made me giggle. The nickname OSHA. OSHA is health and safety.
It is.
So people said they didn't
It
like the
is.
name OSHA because it made them think of that, the workplace safety.
So,
So they
I
didn't like the
mean,
nickname OSHA. So that's why they DNF'd him. So those are the 6 reasons that I had found.
to each their own. I mean, that's their opinion. So I've not had any DNF issues with this. I will say that she is a little childish. She is very stubborn. She just like I don't know. She's just very stubborn, but I also get it because of the shit that she's been through. And I mean, what else are you going to do? She's been on her own. She's trying to prove to them that, okay, you're Faye. I'm a fucking human, but that doesn't make you better than me, does not make you uh, stronger than me, of doing half the things that you can do. So
You're
she's always
freezing.
had to prove herself. Of course I am.
Okay. Scoot over. Closer to your L. There you go. Perfect.
Stop
Perfect.
telling me what to do.
I'm sorry.
So
I
why my
apologize for
freaking
any
connection is being
mistakes.
funky?
I apologize for any
Nobody's
mistakes in this
home.
week's episode.
Nobody's home. I got the internet all to myself.
The chaos. This is going to be a chaotic video. Oh, by the way, did I tell you it's
Chapters over
live?
coffees and chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Coffee and chaos. It's live, by the way.
Yes. I thought you were talking about like right now, and I'm like, hold up. We didn't discuss when we were going to stream an episode. So was not prepared.
No, sorry. Not yet. Not yet.
My office is a work in progress still. So don't mind the shit
Can't
in the
see
back.
it. You really can't see it. I
Ignore
mean,
it.
you just see the top of
Just
the ladder above your head. That's about it.
yeah. still waiting on him to second coat the mud and go. So, anyways,
All
let's
right.
do this.
All right, so last week we ended with Kingfisher giving Saris solace to wield against the feeders. So we're picking up where we left off. Saris, Ren, and Fisher all raced down to the Darn, where a line of ravening vampires snapped and snarled on the other side of the Darn. Kingfisher states that Malcolm didn't show up this time, but he said it to himself, so he almost didn't want like everybody to hear it, but he expected Malcolm to be there. After some time, some of the vampires tested their luck trying to pass over the Darn. Where Saris, Ren, and Fisher were standing, a vampire started to cross over while the ice held its weight. Saris notes, a female coming next. And I knew right away when she noticed that it's... Okay, first of all, it was missing their eyes. She said they looked newly turned, but she noticed that she was wearing an apron like the ones the cooks wore back at the Winter Palace. And when we find out who's also on the other side of the Darn later on, it makes sense why she would be wearing what the cooks wear at the Winter Palace. It totally makes sense. There were at least 20 vampires now on the ice, and we're about to make it halfway over, which allowed them to use their magic on them because there's like a line down the ice, or like down the middle of the Darn, that their powers were only, or their magic will only go so far before it's like cut off.
Yeah.
The moment one of the feeders crossed the halfway point, both Renfis and Fisher attacked, but the fear still kept coming. A little bit later, once the ice fully broke, the Ivalia warriors were cheering, but Saris knew it was never a never-ending battle. That it was like a reoccurring cycle. Like they won this time. Once the ice started refreezing back over, the feeders would attack again. So it was like just a reoccurring battle every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing we know, there's yelling down on the other end of the Darn. The word breach. Somehow, some of the vampires that had fell into the water were now somehow emerging from the water, and nobody could understand, how they were surviving this water because they never have before. So they were now on land. Ren sends Fisher away and says that he'll stay with Saris. After Ren tells her to ready herself, Solus was talking to her. It was awake, alive, and listening. During the battle, Ren tells Saris to go find Lorith, but she had promised Fisher that she would stay. If she ran off, she'd for sure die. And this made me question, like how I brought up just a little bit ago, is why are they now allowed to cross over the Darn? Like, what changed in these feeders to allow them to re-emerge from this water? So something had changed within that. So Ren makes a comment to her because she chose to stay there that says, "Don't you dare die on my watch, Saris Fane. Fisher will never forgive me if his sole reason for living is torn to pieces." This confuses her, and it kind of makes her stop in her place. Because at this time, she doesn't know that they're mates, and she doesn't know that they were God-bound to each other.
Yeah.
In order
and
to kill...
I was right about ending this episode. I just had a few about Mama Dearest being some sort of seer or something.
Oh, yes.
I
just find out what she really is.
He just, from the whole, like, knowing he was going to need the medallion or the Quicksilver, like, all of that. Like, I'm like, there's something about his mom. And that's why she was killed.
I believe the book was written because she foresaw her death. She foresaw her death, so she wrote this book.
Yep.
For him.
Oh, show.
We learn that in order to kill a feeder, that their head has to be completely cut off from their shoulders. So Ren tells her he'll wound them and then she can end them. And this is when something happens. There was a sense of peace that washes over her, acceptance and understanding. Now, was this the Quicksilver and Solace that gave her this? Like, sense of acceptance? Or, like, was it like the sword accepting her to be able to do what she did? Because she knew exactly, she knew the vampire's plan of attack, and she knew right then and there how she could counter it. So I wonder with the sword in her hand if it was like her combining with the Quicksilver and it gave her that sense of like acceptance with
Yeah.
the sword for her to be able to like, because she stated too that Ren was like coming at her, but it was like he was walking through like sand. So it was like almost like a slow-mo him coming to her as she did that. And neither her nor Ren knew what was going on. Like,
Yeah.
because he started saying, you know, what was that? And she started answering back because she didn't know what it was. When next thing you know, she's in Kingfisher's arms, making sure that she was okay. And Renfis may even made the comment that Saris wielded Solace almost as well as Fisher's father had. So that's like a good, like, it's a good one. Lorith takes out the rest of the vampires with a Vizzieth,
The busiest.
and the Angel's Breath. I'm assuming Angel's Breath is the power, is just the like the god magic in the sword.
I
Because it
think
was like a
so.
blinding white light again. So I'm assuming Angel's Breath is just like the god magic in that sword. After it was over, Fisher tips his head back and howls as everyone else joins. Lorith's name was being shouted when a shrill voice yelled Kingfisher. And lo and behold, Everlane was on the other side of the Darn, flanked by hundreds of vampires. She was silently panicking while she was on the other side. This causes Fisher to be ready, like he was ready to charge over there to get her back, but Ren had to stop him in his place because, like, there's no magic. Like, Fisher, he had a black gate ready for him, and, like, Ren had to tell him, like, you're not going to end up over there. There's no magic over there. Who knows where
Yeah.
you'll end up. Neither of the guys knew why she was over there, and there was nothing they could do at the moment. They wanted to swim over there, but she wasn't able to do either. That's when Fisher noticed. Did I put this in my notes? Okay, yes. Okay, it's a little bit later. Fisher had noticed that there was a thin band of gold around her neck with a thin gold chain attached to it. At the other end of the chain was a man named Taladeus. Fisher and Taladeus go back and forth for a little bit when Fisher starts to threaten him if he hurts Everlane, but Taladeus states that he doesn't stomach hurting the things Fisher cares about, but his father Malcolm loves to add to his collection. Saris heard Fisher ask Everlane if Malcolm bit her, but she wasn't able to hear her response because, like, they projected their voices. So Saris thought that if they get her back, then Taylena could heal her and get rid of the venom, but according to Ren, Lane wasn't able to come home because she was now enthralled to Malcolm. Are Renfis and Everlane a thing? Are they, like, secretly in love with each other, or is it more just, like, super, super close? Because they have a heart, like, he was heartbroken, and they're, like, just staring at each other like lovers would do when, like, they're, like, distraught about something. Like, they were locked on to each other. And Ren was,
I
like,
think it's a closeness thing. Like, I don't
heartbroken
know,
over it.
they could have like secret feelings for each
See, and I wonder, though, like,
other. Get more of that in the next book.
did they
Maybe
grow
there be more of a
closer?
connection with them.
Did they
Like,
grow
well,
closer
and if you
when
think
Fisher
about it,
was gone?
I was gonna say, yeah, they only had each other, and so maybe something happened between them. Maybe there's just an unspoken bond between them because of that trauma with him being gone, everything that had happened leading up to him leaving or whatever. Just they were who each other had.
Kind of hope we find out.
I know.
Again, Lane was enthralled to Malcolm, but Sarah still didn't know exactly what that entitled. Like, she was never taught that yet. Teledeus was bid to bring Everlane as a trap to bend Kingfisher's will. Malcolm knows that Fisher will come either way. He was waiting for Fisher in the same location that they brokered the last deal, and we learned that Lane was bitten 12 hours prior. And if Fisher doesn't meet Malcolm, he'll make sure that Everlane makes the change and then spend the rest of eternity on her back with all of the men there that were deprived. Uh, Malcolm may want Fisher back, according to Teledeus, but he now has his eyes set on someone else, and this makes Fisher get mad, declaring that he can't have Saris. But Teledeus states that Malcolm wants the alchemist, and he will burn down all of Ivalia to claim her. And it's not stated exactly why he wants her just yet.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That's it. All me.
That's all I
Okay.
had.
So, reeling from all of the whole Lane enthralled by, Lorith is pissed. He says that there has to be something that they can do. There's so many books and stuff in college that, should have something to help them. We learn that Malcolm's bite is different because he was the first to be affected by the blood curse. When the cure was discovered, he chose to remain a vampire. The others who had accepted the curse were killed one by one. There were rumors also that he somehow ingested their powers after they were killed or whatever. He's millennia years old. Like, he's as old as fucking dirt. Um, and every year that he's alive, he grows in strength and capability, which is kind of fucking scary if you think about it. Like, uh, it takes several bites for someone to become enthralled. I believe, like, one of his lords bites somebody, but, like, they became mindlessly devoted to them. The lords can, like, drink and fuck, like, whoever they bite until they are just done with them, and then they discard them. And where they've been discarded, 3 days later, they just rise and they become a feeder. And if she chooses to drink from Malcolm, then she would come back and she would be like one of the lords. And if she refuses, she'll die and she'll become a feeder anyways. And so when they're discussing all of this, here comes uh Everlane, or oh my god, Everlane. Danya fucking bursts in, goes for Lorith, calling him an asshole, demanding her sword. Fisher tries to tell her that it's not her sword anymore. She argues about how she's carried it for 300 years. She's earned the right to have it down from her father. She kind of inherited it. She never earned it. Like, its power was just disconnected from everything, that she didn't earn it. It didn't pick her. She just got it because of her familial line. So, I mean, Lord has a point. Like, we don't fucking want you. You haven't earned us. Like, you have no right to carry us. And Fisher goes on to explain, that her sword was unmade, reforged. It's a new blade, and it decided to choose Lorith. He felt, he was worthy of it.
And he was.
She claimed he was, yes. She continues to claim, it's hers. She lunges for it. The moment she touches it, scream, blinding light, her fucking hand just detonates like a cloud of pink mist just
She deserved
slowly
it.
for everybody, you know?
She deserved it.
Yeah, my notes, but Ren says, "Holy fucking gods, it took her fucking hand." And then Fisher says, "Maybe she'll stop punching people in the face now." Like he instantly just kind of like cracks a joke about her punching people in the face, her not doing it anymore, and this bitch just lost her fucking hand. Sure, internally, he's just cracking up. Um, so he tells her that they might be able to regrow it if he takes her back to college, asks her if she'll calm the fuck down, so they can do that. But before this happens, they decide to give mad props to Saris. I mean, this bitch held her just, she handled herself so good. And so they give her thanks as being like a new blood warrior among them. And so they do a like blood and thanks or blood of thanks. And Lorith and Ren, they cut their fingers and they touch her to thank her. And then Fisher does his. And he taps his finger to like the beat of her heart and stuff like that. And he even calls her fucking Saris. Like it's the first time
I know.
he has said her name, which completely takes her by surprise.
Jumping back to the whole Dania thing, real quick. Did you
Yeah.
state that it was her sword hand?
No, I did not. I just
It,
think it
her,
was implied that it was her sword hand because she like reached out for it. But yeah, I should have
that
specified
was
that.
like a
It was her
big
fucking
point.
sword hand.
Yes,
So
like that was a
now
big
she's gonna be saying,
point in
now
that
she gonna
one.
be saying, "Take my strong hands." I picture it. So listen, okay, when he said when he said we could probably grow it back, I thought
The
cool and
little
like his little
nubs.
baby legs when he like grows back his little baby legs. But I thought of the guy from Scary Movie with the take my strong hand also as it's growing back. Like that's immediately what I so yeah. So then, Saris is just really trying to come to terms with the fact that he's just called her like by her name. We went from human to Oshalith to Osha, then it was little Osha, and next it could be health and safety regulations. And so sorry, I had to throw that in. Fun fact, and now it's Saris. And so that's like a big like growth for them. That even,
Until she finds out why.
taught me. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then she's got a fucking reel from all of that shit. Um, but then we have Dania, fucking bitch. She's given Saris a hard time, because now they're sitting at the fucking table, and she's
I
on
was
his
right. Right
right
side.
hand side or his right side,
Right side.
and so she's given her shit that she better move, you're gonna find yourself embarrassed, blah blah blah. And so she asks, what's the big deal? It's just a seat at the table. Like I'm allowed to be here just as much as you are. And Dania tells her that it's actually reserved for the lady of the house, and only Fisher's wife is permitted to sit there, which is a high honor for a Fae female that is born into one of the old houses. It's offensive for her at the same table, like she's just not having it. And at first, I thought maybe there was some like
She's jealous.
jealousy that
Yeah.
she's gotten close to Fisher. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they have a history. I don't know if
I
she
don't.
had some like unrequited love got her the fuck down because he knew what was coming. Like he knew that he would find her one day. And so he didn't want to have anything with anybody like while he waited. Um, so he was just like, no, not happening. Like, no. So Dania again, she's like, move, get the fuck out, and he tells her, or he tells Saris she's fine where she is, which pisses Dania off. And Fisher says, no rules have been broken, everything's fine, and Ren goes on to say she's powerful and brave and the most powerful alchemist ever documented. And who is Dania to say they don't belong together? Which kind of makes me wonder,
Mm-hmm.
does Ren know? Like, is
I
he
think
hinting like, hey, like I know, he knows, like I'm his best friend, like I knew something, like,
by his
'cause why else would he
response,
say something like that?
yeah, by his response, I think he knew. I
Yeah.
believe he
But I think it's
knows.
fucking hilarious that they were just giving Dania such a hard time with all of this. Like, no, it's fine. She's great. Like, whatever.
I think that's why he was like really for her getting solace. I think Fisher kind of confided in him about it, and like Ren knew she was like the perfect choice for him.
Well, that, and I think that because I don't, we only read about the one time where they trained together, but I mean, off book, it could have been more. Like, I don't know if that's like open to interpretation, but I think he was able to really get a good feel for her that she would have been a good candidate for like somebody to wield solace. And, she was the perfect top of the fact that she fucking opened the Quicksilver. So obviously it responds to her, not just the Quicksilver, but the sword itself and everything with that god power and stuff. So, I mean, it makes sense that she would do it. Um, so that catches Saris off guard. So she's thinking that, Fisher is going to make some snarky comment and everything, but he just says his personal life is no one's business. Um, Carrion shows up with who is he, with Lorith or something like that,
Yeah, I think
and he's got
so.
a fucking weird, like, oh, my tent is bare. It was like the only green in the snow, blah blah blah. I thought I'd just
This plant.
just random, hey, this plant's cool. Let's just take it back with us.
his
Like,
his
of
pet
all the
plant.
people to want to plant,
His pet plant.
why? Yeah. Um,
I hope, and this is like a little off, like complete. I really hope we do get a book of him. I really hope we get a book about him. He's like
I just
the
hope we get some
character.
more backstory by the end of the book. Like, he's got to at least spill some beans on something. Like, I feel like he's more important than Wink. And
Because everything's so normal for him.
yeah, like he's just not shocked by anything. Like, this is just normal day-to-day life. Like, oh, I was kidnapped by Faye. No big deal. Like,
It's an everyday occurrence for him.
yeah. Yeah. Dania gets pissed about that too. She's like, fuck this. I can't stay here any longer. And then she, like, fucking passes out. And she's lost a lot of blood. So they're going to take her back to college and see a healer, grow back that strong hand. She's going to be like T-Rex arm or something.
Nubs.
Sorry. Yeah.
Little nubs.
Roar. Anyways, that was lame. Sorry. Uh, plot twist. So he tells Saris, go to the forge, start the relics. They'll need as many as possible for, what's going on. And then Carrion, all he fucking gets out of that is the fact that she makes a comment that humans are fucking pretty to look at and everything. That's all he takes away from anything. Like, oh, she made me, or she called me pretty.
It's because
And then he,
he's thinking with the wrong
yes,
head
yes.
there.
Because he even tells her, like, or, Saris is like, please don't tell me you have a thing for Danya. And he was like, I love a girl with a sharp tongue and a bad attitude. Makes my dick. Okay, well, we know who likes to be dominated. Okay. Carrie and fucking Swift. That too. They step on his face with the boot and he'd be like, yes, baby, let's go. Back in the forge. She's messing with the Quicksilver and Carrion's like, you have the ability to command stuff to do what you want it to. Why don't you force the Quicksilver to comply? Because the Quicksilver is like haunting her, like it does not want to be made into a relic. It doesn't want to bond with anything. Like it's just like, no, we're not doing this. We don't want it. Um, so she gets Carrion to help her, and he decides to kind of start poking for some information, but not like really poking. But he asks her if she's forgiven Fisher, for kidnapping them because they've gotten close. Like everybody knows they've done the 1-2 step and, the Chattahoochee.
The
And
wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
yeah, and she says that she has, in a way, like he's done all these things to keep her safe. Like it's kind of been dickish things, but like all in all, he's done the things he's done to keep her safe. And so she's like, okay. And I thought it was funny because, he brings up the bath again. The bath. Like he even is like, yeah, the little fairies with the big knockers and stuff, basically. And how like he pushed for Carrion to like get the shower or get the bath for the boots and to smell like Cyrus. Um And like he even states like the soap that they use, asking them and stuff, and it's for like bed hoppers who don't want to smell like their other ladies. So then that way they can just continue to do the bed hopping. Um, so which is fucking dirty, fucking man whores thinking that just washing their dick's gonna make every like it don't work that way, buddy. So they go back and forth and she makes a comment that Fisher has secrets. And instantly the Quicksilver is like, secret? We want a secret. They say that they'll change for her, let her do what as long as she tells them a secret, they got her. And so she asks, will I remember it? Will, I still know it? And will it still be a secret? The Quicksilver pretty much promises her like you'll know it, I'll know it, and it'll still be a secret. You'll still remember it, all of the things, because they took the song, they took the ballad, and nobody remembers it. So she wanted to make sure that she would, because honestly it's a pretty good secret. I mean, she tells the Quicksilver out in her mind, like she like mindly, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but she speaks quietly to it, directly to it. Carrie and Kenny doesn't know what her secret is, but she tells the Quicksilver, I don't want to go home anymore. Not forever. I want to go home. I want to get Hayden. I want to get Elroy, and I want to come back. Like, they don't need me to go home and stay because they don't need to be saved. But I want to come back. I want to get them. I want to come home. Like, she's made friends that she cares about. She doesn't want to leave Fisher, which I think is sweet. Like, she's coming to terms with, like, if I go home, I'll never see him again. So it gets excited, that she wants to stay and says she must save him, meaning Fisher. And I believe they say something about the gates. Um, or was I? Yes, save him, save the gates, save Evelia. And when she asks what they mean by saving Fisher, it says, they were taken. And then it starts saying, like, seal us with blood. And so she takes the dagger, she cuts herself, and the blood hits the ring. It's absorbed. Uh, and basically, the Quicksilver is like, okay, we're complete. Like, that's
So
exactly what I needed.
I
Which
kind
you
of
had
was
a
right
feeling, yeah, you
that it
had a
would be
feeling
something
that it needed blood.
like, yeah, she and like I just didn't have the other part that Karen came up with. Like, you can talk to it, you have to
Yeah.
ask it, like, or demand
Mm-hmm.
it, and then, but she's gonna have to trade a lot of things. So far,
Yeah.
we've had a song and we've had a secret.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
let's
I
keep
like
that in
that it's
mind.
not always the same thing. It's also not very
Mm-hmm.
like she has found a way also to like not make it seem like it's super manipulative. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret, but am I gonna remember? Like, will it still be a secret? Who's gonna know about it and
Yeah,
stuff. And
she learned from the first one that she's got to watch what she like agrees to.
yeah.
Because I
Yep.
think she felt bad that they took that song because he wanted to write a song about that battle, and he actually wrote the song or sang the song about this battle, and he has no recollection of it whatsoever. So I think
Yeah.
it kind of made her felt bad. So she's gonna have to like watch how she like agrees to things, making deals with this Quicksilver.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean Fisher needs saving? Like, he's safe, he's here, but it doesn't say anything to her. She decides to put the ring on, and the forge goes dark, and over again, she hears Anarath more, and then there's like winds, different or like a million different voices that are chanting Anarath more. And then she hears somebody say her name. She rips the ring off and she sees that Helena is there. Um, she asks if she's got any cuts and scrapes that needs to be healed. Jumps in like, "Oh, you're looking so lovely," blah blah blah, hitting on her because why would he not? And
Right?
she turns him down, saying, she's still happily married. She, loves her husband. And then, of course, Carrion, being the sick fuck that he is all like, oh, I love a good husband and wife team. Maybe you'll let me join me.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Get a little threesome going on there. And all of a sudden, she's like just entranced by all of her markings. She's got runes, tattoos, all of this stuff everywhere. And so she asks about them and her husband. And then it's like a fake custom on the fifth anniversary to get these tattooed. She even says that they wanted to do it on their second anniversary, but it's forbidden. You have to wait until at least your fifth anniversary because you have to be sure that this is your person before, because it's like a sacred thing. You can't just do it and then, oh, sorry, we're just not going to be together anymore. Like, you have to be sure. And
Yeah, because a lot of them, it was stated like a lot of them don't survive being together.
yeah, yep. And Taylena tells her that, or Cyrus is confused. She's like, you just ink them on your skin. Taylena says, yeah, like we designed them. And so Cyrus is asking her, like, you don't have sex with somebody and they just appear overnight. Like, that's just not something that happens. And Taylena tells Cyrus that, some people used to be touched by the gods if they were true mates. But that hadn't happened in a long time, but it's where the tradition came from. So basically, like, uh, the ability to form the mating bonds or being like touched by a god went away after the gods had left, which I'm still curious, like, where did they go? Like, they went on a pilgrimage, they went on a retreat, but where the fuck did they go?
Right?
Like, I think that there's still something behind
We don't
that
know.
too. So she asks about the script around wrists and, or like if it was possible for like script around your wrists and stuff. And Taylena says that that was just a story said to be a blessing from the gods. Okay, so Saris is like freaking out even more now because she's got the runes, she's got the fucking script around her wrist. She's like, what is going on right now?
Mm-hmm.
And we also those that were bound by the gods like that had the lovers, they suffered terribly, and one always died. Like, it just whole Romeo Juliet essentially
Tragic
type
ending.
thing. But like, yeah, you get a tragic ending. And so she's like, what do I fucking do with this information? And asks where Fisher is. And Helena says that he would be waiting for her in his room. It's some unpacked information.
Me? Is it my
Yep.
turn? Okay.
All you, boo.
All
Yep,
right.
put
So
that down.
she's going into the room and Onyx is with her. And I love that finally, Fisher and Onyx are starting to have that bond.
Yeah.
And that he jumps on the
It's
bed
not
and
a
goes to
rodent anymore.
Fisher. Yeah, it licks his face. And Fisher actually smiles. He actually smiled at Onyx. But he then notices Saris's look on her face. I thought she was being attacked, that she had got attacked on the way there because she's sweaty. But she cuts right to the chase,
Gloves
asking
are
him
heavy.
why. What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said his palms are heavy.
I
I was
swear.
trying to
I
have like
thought
a Eminem moment, but I fucked it up.
I thought you said his balls. I'm
I thought
talking
my
and
balls
I swear you said his balls were heavy and I'm like, what? That's why I had to like stop
It
and
might be.
like
I don't know. It might be. My balls are heavy.
yeah, so it's like, anyways. She cuts right to the chase, asking him why he would never say her name. Um, he tells her, you know why. Like, I don't know if this was this part or a little bit later, but he just like, you know why, and she's like, no, I want you to tell me. She then brings up what Taylena told her about, the tattoos on her hands and how she mentioned God bindings, and he's sitting there like, fuck. He was caught, like, because he didn't tell her. He just made them disappear at the time. So she again brings up why he wouldn't say her name. He wouldn't say her name because he hated her, hated what she represented, weakness and vulnerability. She thought he was calling her weak, so she goes off on him. You know, I'm not weak like those butterflies that you call me. But he wasn't talking about her. He was actually talking about himself. And I have back to back quotes because this is like really, really important stuff. Um, but he described it as when he was saying that it was him that was weak and vulnerable. He goes, my weakness, my vulnerability. I've known for centuries that you were coming, that you were just going to show up one day and change everything. You're the chink in my armor, Cyrus, the soft spot where the knife slides in. You are the thing that Malcolm will hurt in order to hurt me, and I couldn't fucking bear it. So this part he's like really, really opening up and is very vulnerable with her on like everything. And I have another quote because there's a reason why he calls her Oshalith or Osha. So like he describes it and it's a very, very long paragraph. So I'm just going to quote this. But the Oshalith hatch once in most Fae lifetimes, up north in the wastelands far beyond Ajun's sky, where the dragons used to live, the air's so cold there that it'll freeze in your lungs if you breathe it in without a mask. No life exists there for long. But once in the 1,000 years, the howling winds drop, signaling the coming of the Oshalith. News of that event travels quickly. That's when the bravest of our kindest out, or our kind set out. They go on foot where no horse can go. When they reach the valley where the Oshalith hatch, they find the butterflies' cocoons, and they shield them with their bodies. They give them whatever heat they can for as long as they can. It can take up to 12 hours and for them to break out of those cocoons. But when they do, it's the most beautiful thing a person can experience in this lifetime. They glow blue and pink and silver with an eternal light. They have music through, though no one knows how, a sweet soft song that's capable of healing. The Oshalith mate and lay their eggs, but once that's done, they fill the air and they dance. Protecting them while they live is considered a sacred rite that many die in order to perform. That's what Oshalith means in Old Fae Cyrus, most sacred. So he was telling her that she's like the most sacred thing without telling her that that's what he's calling her.
Yeah.
So then, the big kicker, Kingfisher is not his real name. We don't know his real name.
All we do know, according to Callie, is names have big meaning, and they're those names for a reason. But we don't know exactly what Kingfisher.
Wait, from who?
For.
Who
from
said
Callie, the author.
Oh,
Callie, I've
like,
seen a thing where
about,
like
yes.
people have asked like why he's called Kingfisher, and the names
because
have
it
like
even
big
states
meaning and stuff.
It even states because he tells her all names hold power and mean something. Their real names are not shared. Not even the family knows. Their mothers are often the only ones who know their real name because they can use it to their advantage as a punishment. So I want to know what his real name is, and I want to know why Kingfisher was chosen. How was Kingfisher come up with? And what does it fully mean?
Yeah. And I'm really hoping we find out in the next book, or we at least get a little bit more insight, because maybe even a little bit more backstory, because she did say that about 50%, maybe more, is from his point of view. So we're going to see like how his fucking brain ticks.
Was his family royalty? We only know that his dad had money. And the king wanted it.
I think so. I think so of Kalish, because she even refers to him as like a lord or something like that, and he's like, no, that's not me. That's like, they don't want that, like something along those lines.
Yes.
Like he just doesn't feel worthy of that.
So is that where the king portion comes from? Because he would have been next in line.
I don't know. But I took it as more of like they were Lord and Lady, his parents were, or like Baron and Baroness-esque type
Like not fully
level.
king queen, but like they were
They,
along that
like,
royalty line.
yeah, like nobles or something, like they held nobility or something like that. But yeah. Um,
Okay. Going more into it, he was afraid to say her name because he was afraid of what it would do to him, so he called her Osha. Safety. It fits.
haha, health and safety.
He was scared of what it would do, so of course it's got to think of his safety.
Oh yeah, for
Or
sure.
in his or her in
But
her case,
hers,
her safety.
yeah.
So OSHA does fit. A long time ago, he was told she was coming because dun dun dun, his mother was an oracle. Woo.
I had a feeling there was something about his mom.
And she had
Is
written about Cyrus.
Yep. But I wonder, sorry, if she was supposed to be Faye.
I think she was. I mean, her name is Faye. His mom saw her with pointed ears. So yeah, I believe
Like,
she was. Something happened. Something happened. All right. She
is she
knew.
secretly Faye and she was just taken to Zulvarin? Like,
I don't
we
know.
still don't know who, like, the true heir to Velia is or whatever it was that Belicon is afraid of. Fucking pussy.
I think it's Carrion.
But you think it's Carrion?
How is he so
I
calm?
honestly thought we were gonna
How
find out that it might be Hayden, but and that
how
he
is he
wasn't
so
her real
calm?
brother because of the whole hair thing. That would be fucking hilarious. That what would like
How is he so
all the
calm
people?
there? Carrion fucking
Uh,
Swift.
that makes sense though, because we were just saying how it's just like a fucking walk in the park for him. Oh, you're Faye, cool. I wondered when you were coming. Like,
Yeah. Like it's normal everyday life for him that Faye just came and kidnapped him and he's like, okay, cool. Just rolls
I'd
with
like
it.
for it to be a normal fucking life. Like, whisk me away, please. I'm right here.
Give me dragons.
Hello, I'm
Give me a
here.
pet dragon. His mother knew that she would die soon, so she wrote him a book. She had written that Ceres would arrive when he needed her the most. She'd come blazing into his life like a meteorite riding on a wave of chaos that would turn his world upside down, and she would guide him out of the darkness. His mother did not know her name, just that she had dark hair and a beautiful smile. She even drew a picture of Cyrus, but Cyrus was Fey and had ears like Fisher. Now, Fisher states that sometimes his mom got details wrong, but I don't believe that. I don't
Yeah.
think that was a wrong detail. I don't believe that was a wrong detail. When Fisher realized Cyrus was human, he was going to leave her in Madra's palace. But since her stomach is hanging out of her, like, or the insides of her stomach is all hanging out, he knew she would die, so he just takes her with him and leaves her at the palace. She then brings up the markings again and what they meant for the two of them. Fisher had seen the marks appear while she slept, and they scared the hell out of him because he said marks like these are kind of marks people will want to write stories about and not happy ones, so he kind of confirmed what Taylena had told her about it. And then this part kind of broke my heart because he states that his relic won't last much longer. He doesn't sleep, like he's going mad in a way. Like it's slowly affecting him, the Quicksilver is. So Cyrus says that she can make him a new one, and then I quoted because he talks about this relic. He states this isn't just a relic. It's warded with spellwork too. My mother went to the witches and had it, along with a number of other items, made for me before she died. Things she knew I'd need. But this thing inside of me is getting stronger. There isn't a spell in existence strong enough to keep it at bay forever. Soon enough, the pendant won't work at all, and I'll be lost. But you don't need to worry. I refuse to bond you to me with that on the horizon. I won't accept it. I won't have you chained to me when things get really bad. So at this point, she believes that he had already rejected their mate bond. So they kind of get into this small argument because she's upset that he wants or has already decided that he was rejecting the mate bond. But instead, he had initiated the waiting period, and I'm assuming that's when he made the tattoos disappear, and he told her, you have a month to decide if you accept them or if you want them gone. And she put two and two together that's what all the books that she had seen in his tent. And then at that, wasn't there books at the little apartment for his and his mom too?
I think so.
He was researching how to reject the bond, or like anything he could find, but there's nothing on the binding of the god. She was not happy about any of this because he knew about her for years, and that he got to decide that he was going to reject her and send her back to Zilvarian, that he made all the decisions on her behalf. So she was pissed that she wasn't able to have a choice or a say in this. And then, this is the part that kind of broke my heart. He had plans to end his life because no life was worth living when he was driven to the point of madness from pain and horrific hallucinations, and that he would have Renfis help him do it because she believed that he couldn't do it on his own. So she tries one more tactic, and she uses Lorith against him, telling Fisher that if he dies, then Lorith wouldn't let his soul wander around, pretty much insinuating that Lorith had planned, to end his life as well, because he wouldn't do that to Fisher since Fisher was able to give him part of his soul. So that kind of broke my heart. But I don't believe he'd do it. Now with Cyrus in the picture, I don't think he'll do it. He's got too much to lose now. But before she does leave the room, she does tell him that she was going to research how to save both him and Everlane. And that's where we end it. I need more.
I know.
More. All right. So, thank you for watching or listening to this week's episode, and join us next week for chapters 36 through 40. We are just 2 weeks away from finishing up the book. After these next 2 episodes, we'll start going over the Dueling Crowns book for Oreo and Graham while we wait on Brimstone. And then after Brimstone, we will do the 4th book in the Lightlark series, Crown Tide.
We have a month before Brimstone comes out.
I know. Like I said, gives us time to do the Dueling Crowns book while we wait for Brimstone and kind of come up with what we think is going to happen in this next one. So I'm excited.
My Walmart edition will be here in 2 days.
I'm going to buy it Friday. It's already out, right? I think it's already out.
I think so. Mine's being delivered on Friday, or it comes out tomorrow.
I think
or
it
something.
came out the 10th. Was it the 10th? I thought it was last week. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mine was originally supposed to be here the 13th, but then they decided to cancel my order. What? Because I forgot to update my card. So I had to reorder it, so it'll be here Thursday.